All right, we're back. We're back. We took a week off. We're talking NBA playoffs. Tigers are falling. Fred's Sixers fell asleep at the wheel. And hit like, hit subscribe. Let's roll. Going to see a Super Bowl win. Like, my window is closing, Fred.
Never know. I mean, it could happen. I could end up at one of these Chauncey Billups poker games.
It's Monday, y'all.
Freddy, what's going on, my brother?
Chilling, man. You know, just enjoying the weather for now. But yeah, it's been getting crazy with the sports, man. All the playoffs going on, NHL, NBA, WNBA kicked off. What's that?
I'm not going to lie. I was a little, my service where I was at, obviously not Jackson, Mississippi, but the service where I was at was terrible. So I really couldn't even jump on. But I mean, what the Pistons did coming back at 3-1, then your Sixers beating the Celtics was amazing. Like that would have been a fun Monday for sure. But unfortunately, I just wasn't getting good service in Puerto Rico, not Jackson, Mississippi, just to clarify. Yeah. But it was wild, Fred. I had better service on the side of a rock wall in another city than I did in my hotel.
That's weird.
It was really weird.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of, I feel like every time we've been out there, we've gotten good service.
Yeah, see, I didn't stay at the Condado this year. I stayed at a different one. I stayed at the hotel that was adjacent to the Serafina.
You were at the, so we were at like T-Mobile and you were at like Cricket Wireless.
I was at the La Conch.
No, that's an awesome
you know where the casino's right there, and Serafina.
Yeah, La Conch is awesome. Serafina is in the front. Awesome.
Yeah, really enjoyed it.
They got the casino inside, right out onto the beach in the back.
Perfect. Great time, by the way. Beautiful weather, 85 and sunny the entire time.
Did you go to any restaurants right there?
Went to not there. No. Oh yeah. I actually went to the Oyster Bar right around the corner. The one that has the upstairs. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Was it called Andar or Andal?
I forget.
Okay.
I forget. It was really good though. Really good. Then we ate in downtown San Juan.
Right across the street from the place there, from Condado and Serafina. There's a place called Calle Blanco, maybe? It's like a little tiny restaurant on a corner.
So many little tiny ones right there, too.
Literally across the street, and there's like a side street that goes down to this boutique hotel.
Okay.
You know, did you see across the street where Waiters was?
Yeah, for sure. That's
Waiters.
Literally right around, like Waiters is across the street from the...
Yes. So on the other corner is this little spot called Calle Blanco.
Okay.
I've said this. That's where I've had one of the best octopus salads I've ever had in my life.
Damn, I wish you would have texted me when we were there, and I would have hit it up for sure. But yeah, I mean, you've been there numerous times. This would be my third time there. Just the best place to vacation. I'm sorry, awesome. Hands down. It is so nice. So nice. Rode some scooters.
Everyone's so nice too.
People are great.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into it, Fred.
All right.
You said the Pistons were done. Your words. You said they remind you of the Detroit Lions 2 years ago. 2024 Detroit Lions. What do you have to say now?
Now they remind me of the 2023 Lions.
Why the 2023 Lions?
Well, they lost in the championship, the NFC final.
Oh, okay, I got you now. And
keeping up.
Look, I like it. If we make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, I think the season is a success on our part.
I think it's a success already.
Going to the second round?
Yeah, it's the first time they went to the second round in over 10 years.
The only reason I disagree with that statement is because the expectations at the number one seed were a little bit higher. I think it's Eastern Conference Finals makes the season success. Now, look, the Knicks are rolling, and we'll talk about your Sixers in a second here, so I'm a little nervous about that. But again, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We are 2-1. It's an away game. Tonight. It's a big game tonight. I do think we will win tonight. I truly do. Not really worried about Cleveland. But again, it is one game at a time. And we have to win this series first. So I'm not going to talk about the Eastern Conference Finals, anything like that. We will win tonight, go up 3-1. It's a little scary that the Knicks rolled your Sixers like that. Now they have a huge break.
I mean,
my question to you, Fred, is it time to sell the team in Philly because New York took it over?
Well, they did that the last time too, so it wasn't surprising. So, and that's the whole reason why it happened again, to be honest, is because they took it over. They took over the last time, and then Embiid made a comment about not selling your tickets to Knicks fans and all that shit, which made it even worse. Like this time.
You think that put fuel on the fire?
Yeah, because it was like Madison Square Garden South already. So now it was just like another home game, basically. But, I was talking to Mary about the Sixers because she asked me about like what's going on. And I was like,
Yeah.
there was like one close game, to be honest. And
Game
it was
two.
the one it was the one Embiid didn't play.
I have that written down in my notes. Like, I was going to ask you, why is it the one game that he didn't play is the best game they had?
And it's weird because I thought that so he didn't play game 2, and I thought it was going to be the same thing that happened in Boston, stole a game without him.
Right.
And then I'm like, man, if they steal this game and it's 1-1 and Embiid comes back, they're right in this thing. And then, they lose that game. And then the next, they beat him by 30 in 2 of the 4. Like,
well, let's go back to the ticket situation. And I can't put an exact number on the price of these tickets, but my guess is that the Madison Square Garden tickets are substantially higher than in Philly.
Yeah.
I'm probably correct in saying that.
Yeah.
If I'm a Sixers fan and I'm down 3-1 and I can make triple on my ticket because I sell it to some jackass from New York, I'm selling the ticket. Sorry.
Yeah, first of all, that whole because of the pricing on tickets in general, that's the reason why away fans are at games. Literally,
Because it's cheaper.
It's cheaper and people are making money off of it. So
Right.
like if it was back in the day where like the tickets were like kind of okay, regular, and you're not going to make much off of it, you'd go to the game. And it's funny because like all that shit that happened with the Lions with like trying to revoke people's season tickets for selling them and stuff. Your buddy, it happened to somebody It's like
Yeah.
so like there is like I don't know if that's one way to combat it because I don't believe that you shouldn't be able to sell the tickets. Like I think that's
they're
crazy.
yours. You bought them.
But yeah, it's your investment. So, but yeah, it just sucks that, yeah, everything is money related. So like, it
For
doesn't
sure.
matter how big of a fan you are. If someone's going to give you, a couple $100 over what yeah, of course, especially down 3-up, like that's like a no brainer.
Well, and I was surprised because Christian decided not to get into the tickets, whether he missed the date or whatever for the Pistons. And then like we go through the Orlando series, like, I guess it's not that big of a deal. He would have made bank on that Game 7 ticket and paid for the entire thing. Right.
Well,
coulda, woulda, shoulda in hindsight. We're sitting there strolling the beach in Puerto Rico. And I'm like, you could have made some money today.
Well,
You could have really made some money.
But here's the thing, though. It's like, yes, he would have made some money on it. But like, as a fan, you dream about going to Game 7s. So like, that's the point. That's the shit that like, now, if they weren't making X amount over, then people would be going to Game 7s. Now, like when it gets later on, you're not going to miss a World Series game or an NBA Finals game set. Some people might, though. Like, for the right bag.
Or you have 2 home games, you sell one. You basically pay for your ticket, and then you go to one game.
It's a side hustle. So, but
what I wanted to talk about, though, to kind of wrap up round 1, I know we're behind a little bit, but like, what a great round 1 that was. There was 3 Game 7s in the East, which was crazy. You had the Pistons, Orlando, Celtics, Sixers, and Cleveland, Toronto all went to Game 7. Now, in the West, everybody just kind of rolled. You really didn't have anything too crazy close, but it was crazy to have 3 Game 7s.
Yes, and the only thing in the West was the Nuggets getting bounced.
The upset, right, yeah.
So that was pretty crazy, but like, yeah, and you know what, Brad? I was talking like what we were talking about all year is that's why I was talking about all these teams in the East where anyone could win.
For sure.
And it proved what I was saying was right to some extent. Okay, Detroit won, right? They did go to Game 7 against the 8 seed. Like, and the Cleveland, Toronto was tough, and obviously the Celts. So like the 1 seed goes to game 7. The 2 seed gets beat in game 7.
Right.
Like the 3 seed goes to game 7. So 1, 2, and 3 went to game 7.
Right.
I
What-
mean,
and you had 2 teams that were down 3-1 to win,
yes,
right?
which is
Sixers and the Pistons.
and and I could see it was a crazy round 1. Round 2,
Yeah, that's what I
when-
wanted. I wanted to transition to that.
What-
Like, obviously depends if Cleveland wins tonight. Hopefully they don't. Makes that series a little more interesting. Like, last night, Wemby getting ejected in the second quarter with like 6-ish minutes to go, that helped Minnesota drastically.
Yeah.
Well, you're saying trash. You don't think he should have got kicked out of the game for it?
It's just, it's heat of the moment type, swinging the elbow, holding on to the ball. I mean, I don't know. Like,
well,
now
I was watching some
just-
clips. I was watching some clips too, Fred, and he's notorious for doing this. I think it's like his elbow is at your head. Like, I mean, this is just the way the guy's made up. I mean, it's not like it was malicious. And that's where I guess I could side with you saying that, like, if there's malicious intent to that, then he does. But that wasn't the case. In fact, I don't know if you saw the clip, but he didn't even know that. He was like, what does that mean? And you're like, you're ejected. He's like, oh.
Yeah. He didn't understand the flagrant. So but back in the day when people were grabbing at the ball, that's what you did, is swing your elbows, technically, right?
Right.
Now there's that. Now they're judging everything on well, did it go to the head or neck? Like was it with force? Was it unnecessary? Stuff like that. And it's like, come on, slapping at the ball is unnecessary.
Right. Right.
So,
but that's a great point, because I remember even in like where our cager basketball or your little league basketball, like your coach is like, when you get a rebound, you keep the ball above and your arms are out. You're moving like this, right? That's exactly what he did.
Yeah, I mean, but now it's gotten too petty. So that was kind of weak in a playoff game. Now listen, if he did it intentionally and split a guy up,
That's
of course.
different.
But this isn't what happened. So game is. I still feel like the Spurs end up winning the series. I mean, it's definitely more interesting now that it's 2.
For sure. I would love to see, obviously, I told you, I've said that from the jump. I'm a big Ant-Man fan. Like, I would love to see him win it. But, that's barring. Again, we said this from the start of the season. The Spurs all are going to rely on Wemby's health, and obviously being injected. Just him not being in the game is huge.
Yeah. And we
he's
also
such an impact player.
We've also been saying all year that it's going to be OKC and the Spurs in the finals of the Western Conference. And I mean, it's most likely going to end up that way.
Is OKC going to lose a game?
I don't know. I don't know if anyone's beating OKC. So it would be interesting to see Wemby go up against OKC.
Yeah. Do you think that matchup wise, OKC Spurs, do you think that the Spurs could possibly beat them?
I think they could win
healthy
1 or 2 games. I don't think they can win 4.
Okay. Interesting. What they should announce the MVP in the next week and a half. Usually last year it was on the 20th. Is there anybody that's competing with SGA right now for that spot? I mean,
I guess not. It's like
number 2, I looked it up, it was Jokic.
Yeah, and he got bounced. So I feel like Jokic would have had a good beef with it if they had won and maybe went to the Western Conference Finals, because that team, OKC is a better team overall than Denver is without their superstars. So
Right.
I think that would have gave him a little more voting, but nobody.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. That's
And
what
I'm
I was
okay
afraid of
with
for
it.
sure. I want to see him go back to back, to be honest with you. I want somebody new. I would love to see the Spurs. I would love to see the Pistons. I think, again, the way the Knicks are playing right now is a little scary. What's your thought on the Knicks and their situation and beating? I know, obviously, being a Sixers fan, probably a little upset about it, but they played good.
They played really good. They're pretty scary. I mean, they really I mean, they're putting up 144 points. Like they were like beating them up. Like it wasn't even close. The entire series, game 2, whatever,
Right.
a little close, but like game 1, they won by 30 something points.
Right.
Like now, I was like, okay, Sixers just got off of a game 7 win in Boston. Who cares? Like, game 1. Then
Chalk it up
game
as a
2
loss.
comes, Embiid doesn't play, but it's close, and I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be a series. They're going to steal this game. They don't. Embiid comes back, they go to Philly and just get romped. So they're pretty hot, and I say this because not just as a Sixer fan, that Sixer lineup is pretty good. Like,
Yeah. Although, I mean,
the only
Maxey didn't
problem,
have a very good game last night. BJ Edgecombe, in my opinion, really didn't show up for this series like he did in the Boston series. So I don't.
Also, they don't have a bench. Like,
It's zero depth.
zero depth. I mean, in some of the games, I think in most of the games, they were getting under 10 points from their bench, meaning in the Boston series and the Knicks one. So, like,
Right.
I mean, you got Quentin Grimes and you got Andre Drummond, but like, they don't really have anyone.
Drummond's terrible.
He's good.
I'm surprised he's still playing.
Well, you know what? When Embiid's playing, though, he kind of like does well to eat up minutes. He'll get you a bunch of boards and some putbacks, but like, that's about it. But he can give Embiid like 7 minutes, like, total. So like it's not terrible to have somebody like that. They have Bana too, who I think Drummond's actually better than. So that's why Drummond was getting some time. Quentin Grimes sometimes can go off, but like he didn't have any rhythm because he really didn't play many minutes like each game and shit like that.
Let me ask you this. Let's say Pistons win in 5 or 6, right? So that takes us to the end of the week. And then we would start the Eastern Conference Finals in the beginning of next week. Does that break benefit the Knicks?
With OG, yeah. So he didn't play the last 2 games with the hamstring or whatever. So like, yeah, no, that's awesome for the Knicks. I never like teams having off too long, but I guess maybe
is there a difference? Let me ask this. Is there a difference in football and basketball with that time off? You think that the longer time off in football hurts a team than it would in the NBA?
No, I think longer time off hurts more in the NBA. I think teams that play more frequently have more trouble in long times off, like baseball. I don't like the idea of, you're the number 1 seed. You have a whole week off because of the wild card, and then you come back. Like, what if, like, most teams, that are at the top of the division, they're pretty hot at the end of the season. Like, baseball is a game that plays every day. So, like, when you're hot, you want to keep playing.
Right. Well,
Like,
that makes sense. So
like, that week.
Well, that's kind of why I asked that question, because as hot as the Knicks are right now,
I know.
Is this break?
They want to get on the court.
Right.
But as for OG, they definitely want OG back. So that kind of helps. But I think that the Knicks would probably want the Detroit series over quicker than longer.
Sure. I got you.
Like they would want Detroit to win tonight and Wednesday, and then maybe it starts Friday.
That makes sense.
That
makes sense. Yeah.
And that's only like, 5 days off, which is not terrible. Like, they would be going on the road, so they get there a day early, like they're already practicing.
Right. So it ought to be interesting. Obviously, tonight's huge. I have the Pistons winning. I have OKC winning, beating the Lakers tonight, and that series is going to be over tonight. I don't even think it's going to be close, but we'll see how it plays out. And I'm very interested. I just don't see anybody beating SGA for that MVP vote, especially now after. I mean, if they're taking into consideration what he's done in the playoffs to not lose a game,
and that's why I was saying, like, if the Joker had won the first round and was doing something in the second round right now, you could be like, dude, this dude's carrying the team. Like,
Right. Okay.
And after that happened in round 1, there's zero chance that anybody else gets the MVP.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Moving on, man. Baseball, MLB. Go ahead.
Have you? I know you probably haven't watched much of it, but anything with the NHL playoffs? Have you watched a lick of it, or do you?
Zero. Fill me in.
Okay.
Fill me in. What's going on?
Well, like Carolina's hot. They're going to play the winner of Montreal and the Sabres, so
Okay.
that'll be the Eastern Conference, and then the Avs are rolling. There's a huge game last night, which was really good. Was the Ducks in Vegas? So it's Ducks in Vegas. The winner will play Avalanche Wild winner, which is going to be the Avs. I had the Avs and the Lightning in the finals, but the
Okay.
Lightning got upset in their first round. So I think it's going to be. I still think the Avs are going to win the whole thing and go to the finals and win the whole thing. But I
Okay.
think it's going to be Carolina, man. I mean, they're playing good hockey.
Yeah, the Colorado Avalanche had a good team in recent years. I feel like you, as a non-hockey fan, obviously being from Detroit, you remember the whole like Red
Yeah.
Wings, Colorado fights, and that's when it was pretty cool. But when's the last time they had a really good team? It seemed, and again, I'm asking this totally as a not a hockey fan. It just doesn't seem like I've heard that team in a while.
They've had some good teams. I mean, this year is really good team. But yeah, no, they've had some good teams over the years. Not as good as what's going on now. I think
Best. So this is probably the best team they've had ever.
I think this team's probably. I thought it was the best team in the NHL going in. That's why I had them going to the finals immediately. And then in the East I thought was a little bit up for grabs. And I really thought that like the Lightning was going to make a move. And they got beat in the first round. So like that was
Who'd they lose to? Who'd they lose to?
Montreal.
Okay.
So I thought they were going to beat Montreal, but then I thought they were actually going to beat the Sabres, which had the is also like a 1 seed in the East. But yeah, now it's interesting. I don't really watch too many playoff games right now, just because I don't really have skin in the game. Like when it comes down to elimination games, I usually throw it on and see what's going on.
I'll tune in the Stanley Cup Finals for sure.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
All right, moving on. Baseball. It's a little rough here right now, Fred. And we have the most players on the DL in all of Major League Baseball with 15. I think we're tied with Blue Jays, ironically, who we play this week. They're 1-5 in the last 6 games. Well, obviously, I went to the game with Nolan, took an ass beating. I lost all 3 games. We play the Mets. That's hopeful. We should do well against the Mets. Hopefully we sweep the Mets, and then we go in the Blue Jays, then the Guardians, which are both winnable, right? I mean, we're sitting in 4th place in our division, but we're only 1.5 games out of first place. So everything's pretty much jumbled in there. Is this a DL thing? Is this an injury thing for us? I mean, what's your take on that?
I think so. I mean, it's tough when you have like 4 guys in your lineup that aren't in the lineup. And I this is one of the things that I felt held the Yanks back at the beginning of last year, was like
I remember you talking about waiting for people to get back, right?
Yeah, it's like so dumb. And now so yes, it does suck. But as bad as you think they have played, they're a game and a half out of first place. Like, I know it's not. I mean, if you said at the beginning of the year, hey, in the middle of May, the Tigers will be a game and a half out, you would have taken it in a heartbeat. Now the way things have shaped up in the last week, yeah, it kind of sucks. I mean, for the Yanks are in second place now. They got swept by the Brewers. They lost 4 out of 5. Like, I don't know what I think, I know from watching the games why they lost some games, but like, it's not terrible. They still have, the second best record in the AL, which Tampa's playing amazing. So, but I don't think there's cause for concern. I think the biggest cause for concern is the Skubal issue. Because
okay, good. I'm glad you brought that up, because you jump on the YouTube channel, hit like, subscribe. You'll see a little clip in there with me, Fred, and Nolan talking about my experience with Nolan at the Comerica Park and getting beat by the Red Sox. And we spoke about this briefly, but I wanted to bring up go in a little more detail. I was driving home from the game, and one of the guys on 97.1 was saying that this Skubal injury could be a huge benefit for the Tigers, right? They're saying that maybe, he won't get paid as much. Maybe he'd be more apt to stay here in Detroit. Fred, you kind of just said that's a Detroit Tigers thing to say. Like, you feel that his stock is still there even coming off of this injury, and I know that you were kind of downplaying the injury. What's your thought on the Scooble situation, and could this be a benefit for the Tigers?
I think they're gonna be in the same spot. I think that it's actually bad for the Tigers, and let me explain why I think that. Because I don't think that they're gonna get anything at the deadline for him. So now you're talking about next year, right?
Yeah, I am talking about next year because I don't feel like, well, will he even be back by the time the trade deadline is July?
Yeah, they're saying he's going to be around late July. But the thing is this, so next year is next year. So we don't know yet, right? And I'll give you my opinion on that. But the first thing that's going to hit is the trade deadline. So now, like, which everyone knew he was going to be up. Like, hey, what are the Tigers going to do? Like, are they going to be still in the race and hold on to him, or whatever? But the thing is, I think that's off the table right now, unless there's a team that's going to want him. Like, I mean, I don't see teams that I don't know if a team is going to like trade much to get him for August and September. Listen, if
a questionable August and September, because
that's
again,
what I mean.
It depends on how he recovers from this. Yeah.
You don't know exactly what his throwing program is and how many pitches he's going to be. But like, to have a guy like Scooble in your bullpen, like the Dodgers have done with starters, not a terrible idea if you're going to tell me that you pick up Scooble for relief role where he's coming out and he's throwing 4 innings a day, 3 innings a day. Like,
that's the benefit of being in the Dodgers position, is you can spend that kind of money or make those moves for a relief pitcher.
Well, yeah, and I don't know, but see, like, I don't know how you have to wait until his throwing program starts, because like there's so much bullshit with throwing programs and all that shit where they might just shut him down and be like, now if that happens, like you're as a Tiger, you might have to unload him before anyone sees him again, which is
that's a risky move too, because you're kind of waiting or hoping that another team wants to take that chance.
That's what I mean. And they would only take the chance as a rental for the rest of the year anyway. And if they can trade him for minimal pieces, it's not a bad trade for the team taking the risk on him, because they would only pay his salary for 2 months. Like, so, and right now is the time where you want to pay his salary because he's not getting his big contract yet. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does get shipped. It's the thing is that they're not getting a king's ransom anymore. Like,
and I think that's kind of what the guy was saying on 97.1 is like, you might not see the bag that he was, especially if he was playing. But I think if he was playing, we might not even be having this conversation, because to your point, if we're winning the AL Central by the trade deadline, we'd be zero thought of us considering a trade for him. Right? If we're bottom of the barrel in the AL Central, now it's like, okay, let's deal him, chalk this up as a loss, regroup, get some more pieces, and we move on to 2027.
Yeah. And the sad thing is, though, to be honest, obviously, I wish he was healthy, because I would have loved to see the decision that was going to be made at the deadline, depending on where Detroit was. Like, if Detroit was 1 or 2 games out, are they going to unload him? I mean, I don't know. The thing is, you will get 2 starting pitchers for him and a position player. Like,
which we could use right now. Like, I'm not totally against the fact of maybe possibly dealing him. Like, I mean, let me ask you this question too. Is 29 considered a little older in that position?
Not really. I mean, they got Max Scherzer still doing it.
I mean, you can throw one-offs all day long of 40-year-old guys like Verlander or something like that. But for the most part, percentage-wise, 29's up there.
I don't think it's bad.
Okay.
I think when you get into the early to mid, if this happened, it's a wrap. But he's young. He's gonna be back. Like, It might not be. It might be second half of next year. I mean, his pitching, but
Yeah, so
like
you're saying he'll be back, but is he going to be that explosive?
no, I mean, he's going to be back.
Back
Like, like, pitching like stud. Like he's going to be back. It's just the fact of he might slow himself into it. That's why I don't know if like taking a chance on him late this season would be a great idea, or just if you. I mean, but as a rental and it's cheap, it's not a bad gamble.
Right.
Like if somebody can get him because you're going to pay cheap. His salary's not crazy. You're going to only pay for 2 months of salary. And if you throw some prospects for him, the receiving team of Scooble, yeah, but then again,
Right.
if you're Detroit and you're out of it by that time, and so you don't want to throw him anyway, because why? You would
Right.
slow his process down even more if they were out of the running, just because there's no reason to rush the kid.
Right.
But that would be more of a move if you were going to try to make a deal. I don't think that his number is going to drop that much, though. Like I think he's getting 400. Like like
Oh, you
he's
still think so? You don't think at all this injury increased the percentage of him staying in Detroit? Nothing changed as far as your thoughts are.
I don't think.
Well, I mean, I get what you're saying, the trade dedeadline type thing, but as far as him staying in Detroit, this injury doesn't matter.
I don't think so. I think that he's still gonna go after 400 million. Like he's still going. He's not. Now, what I was talking about with somebody was, hey, maybe he doesn't like his throwing program doesn't really evolve him right in August, and they kind of like hold him back. And at the end of the year, he takes a 2-year deal with the because nobody wants to give him a 5 to 10 year deal.
Right.
Then maybe something. But then I was thinking, I'm like, these guys don't give a fuck. They want 5 years, they're getting 5 years. Like, like they're not going to just take a 1 year deal.
Let's be honest. I mean, he's dealing. He literally has one of the best agents in Major League Baseball too. So, like, Scott Boras is going to get the boy his bag. That's for sure.
But the thing with Boras is he does wait to the last minute too. So, like, there's guys that have signed in March. Like nowadays, there's some years where that doesn't work.
For sure, it's a gamble.
And guys take a 1-year deal. Like, so they're I don't know. Will he be with the Tigers long term now? I don't believe so. But it'll be interesting to see how it plays out at the deadline.
Yeah, for sure. Your Yankees they play the Orioles and then they play the Mets. Fred, are you worried about the Mets?
Not
the
really.
rivalry, the Subway Series?
No, not really.
Scotty in your ear already, or he's been pretty quiet.
Most Met fans like you won't even hear a peep from them when their team is terrible. It's when their team is okay or good that like they're constantly annoying. But when their team is terrible, they like flip it where they're like, oh, I don't even watch the games. And it's like,
is that what Scotty's standpoint is? There's just a weekend. Scott's Freddie, one of Freddie's best friends, huge Mets fan. So is he telling you he's not watching right now?
I don't even watch. Fuck them. They're terrible. My thing is, I know you don't watch the games because you're a Met fan. You watch the Yankees. Like, that's what Met fans do. They would rather see the Yankees lose than the Mets win. So right now, them losing, they don't really care too much. They're mad that the Yanks are winning, if that makes sense.
It doesn't make sense, but I get it.
I'm not that concerned. They did get swept by the Brewers in Milwaukee. Brewers have a decent squad. I think they're pretty good.
Brewers took one from you this weekend, didn't they? One or two?
Swept them.
You guys swept them?
No, the Yanks got swept. They lost 4 out of 5.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, I knew they won yesterday.
Yeah, they have a good team. They got swept. There was, out of the 3 games, 2 were winnable. One was they lost in the 10th, and one they lost in the bottom of the 9th. So, like, 2 games were winnable. So I wasn't that concerned with that. But then now going to Baltimore, and then it's at Citi Field. Yeah, not really that concerned. Rodon is back. We got
what do you say in the next 6 games? We got 3 in Baltimore, 3 in
1.
Okay.
They win 5 games this week. I would be surprised if they don't sweep Baltimore, and then they'll probably lose a game against the Mets. just because.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I want to wrap up because I know that it's WNBA is starting, and I know you're excited.
Friday
You're
night.
firing in some text message. What's your prediction? Is the Liberty going to be good again this year? Lay us non-WNBA fans who like make us be WNBA fans, Fred.
For starters, start watching the games.
I need something to. I need some context. Now, the America's Couple, that's helpful.
America's Couple is cute. It's not because Azzy's coming off the bench right now. So like, and she just started, but because there were a lot of like transactions in the off season and some salary changes and like stuff like that. It's pretty stacked, like evenly. I feel like there's a lot of good teams.
Okay.
There's some bad teams. There's a lot of good teams, and there's a couple really good teams. So, like that Dallas Wings team, they're a good team. They beat the Fever in Fever's home opener. So it was P Buckets against and Splashaway. They both had 20. Good game. Just for the record, every Fever game is nationally televised this year. All 44. Big. Huge. So yeah, catch some games on ABC. But when it comes down to brass tacks, it's going to come down to the Liberty and the Aces. I mean, like Vegas won 3 of the last 4 championships. The one that they didn't win, they weren't even in, the one that the Liberty won 2 years ago. Now the Liberty was dealing with some injuries last year and stuff like that, but they're back. Sab is just nursing like a minor injury. She'll be back to like full strength. But after that, they picked up some crazy people, and I think that the Liberty wins it this year, and I think Vegas goes to the finals again. Like they're that good. They did lose their opener, but what I was talking about last year with the draft and stuff, I said my dark horse team was the Washington Mystics because they had 3 like top 10 picks last year, which was crazy.
Okay.
So this year, their first round, they take Betts. Now that was crazy. So I think my dark horse is the Mystics. I think obviously the Fever too. Like I'm not going to count out, and Splashaway. You can't. And they also have a great starting 5 and they have a good bench. But I think my dark horse would be the Mystics.
And where are the Mystics out of?
DC.
Okay. All right. You heard it here first, folks.
So,
we're going to wrap it up. We're going to be back on this Friday. For those of you who just follow us on Monday, you got to follow us on Friday. Couch Critics. We review shows, movies with Nolan. Fred, did you watch your required movie yet?
No, I'm going Tuesday or Wednesday. We haven't decided yet, but we did watch the first one Saturday night just to get a little recap going.
Okay, so I watched it, and for those who don't know, we're going to be reviewing The Devil Wears Prada 2 this Friday. I watched 1 on the plane to Puerto Rico, and I'm glad I did. And I think when you watch it, you're going to be happy that you refreshed yourself because there is some back and forth and some things that are on there. But
did you go to the movie you went to see too?
I think Nolan's going to be mad at me, to be honest with you. I watched it on my service.
Okay. So you didn't get the Prada popcorn?
No Prada popcorn. I tried to ask Sarah to make me some Prada popcorn while watching it at home, but she said no.
So, funny thing, I tell Mary, I hope they still have the collectible Prada popcorn thing. She goes, yeah, we're not getting that. And I go, wait, what do you mean? She goes, well, what is it? I go, it's a Prada bag popcorn holder. And I said, and I need it. So then I show her a picture of it. She goes, yeah, that's pretty cool, but you're not going to walk around with that. I go, I 100% will walk around with that.
Yeah, if I went, I would have gotten it for sure. But it was just very convenient on Friday. I pulled up the service. I saw it. I was like, so Nolan's going to be mad. I think Nolan's going to be mad. What do you think?
I think he'll be a little mad about that. But the fact of the matter is you watched it.
Yeah, I did. I did required assignment. Also, Nolan was born in 1998. I'm going to be 47 years old. Our Friday nights are a little different.
They're a little different.
And if I have a way, and I know for a fact that you feel the same way, if I can do something without leaving the house, I'm doing it.
No brainer. you know, like it's good that our location is where it is because it's a short walk.
Okay, I meant to ask you that too, but I don't know. Like, I almost thought it like, wait, we're doing this. I think we're on week 4 with this. And it's like, wait a second, you're gonna require me to go to the movies in the summertime in Michigan.
Yeah.
That's more of a winter thing for
Now-
me. So I always thought that would be your gripe, but shit, it's
Well-
the 80 and sunny every day, so it doesn't matter. You're not missing anything. In
Yeah,
Michigan,
no,
if you spend an evening at the movie theater, you feel like you missed a good day.
yeah, and what I meant about the short walk thing is I meant like doing anything else, not the movies. The movies we have to drive to. It takes 10 minutes. But what I mean is just because of our location is one of the reasons why we are out and about a lot. But if I had to drive like a half hour to go to dinner and stuff, I'd
Not
probably be in the house a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, you walk a couple blocks and you have fucking 30 restaurants. Yeah, it's kind of easy to do. And like you said, the weather helps.
Yeah.
But no, we do have to walk to the theater. I mean, drive to the theater. It's nice little courtyard and like a bunch of shit there and then a movie theater. But like, I don't know if they're going to have the collectible. I don't know. It
Why don't you
just
call
doesn't.
up there?
Well, it's also like what, 2 weeks since it was out?
A week and a
think
half.
Yeah. So like, like, I don't know. Do they keep those things for
That's a great question.
the
That's a great question.
duration or is it just like opening weekend?
I don't know. It's a great question, but you're going to find out for sure.
I will find out. So
I would
Tuesday or
actually, if I was you, I would make a call. And then if they say no, be like, well, what are the chances that you set something aside for me?
because I know one of you guys definitely put a couple away.
Yeah, for sure. One's got one in
But
his Civic.
Now you can buy them for like $19 online. I saw it. Now I'm not doing that.
No,
That's not
it's not the
something.
same.
No. So, but yeah, no, it'll be interesting. The first one's amazing.
Yeah.
The cast is great. Now, funny thing about the cast, little Easter egg. Do you know in real life Stanley Tucci is married to Emily Blunt's sister?
Did not know that.
And they met previous, and then they reconnected at the Devil Wears Prada first, opening party
Interesting.
because Emily Blunt brought her sister with her,
Right.
and that's how they reconnected, and they're married.
Interesting. Little fun fact.
So it's nice to work with your sister-in-law. Like he's
Sure.
working with his sister-in-law or brother-in-law. On the other hand,
Would you want to work with Cheryl?
yeah, definitely,
I'm gonna see if I can make that happen.
that would be awesome.
All right. One last thing over it. If in fact they do have the Prada popcorn, I want a picture, and we will make that the thumbnail for this week's
Dude,
Couch Critic.
definitely taking a picture.
Okay. All right. Make it a good one.
Definitely.
All right, buddy.
Anything
One
you
last-
watched this week or no?
Let's talk about it Friday. I got a lot.
Okay, I
All
did
right.
watch. I just watched this thing on Apple called Murderbot.
Ooh, I'm watching
It was-
Man on Fire.
Okay, I saw that
Netflix.
on there. I watched Chief of War on there, which was Jason Momoa about the creation of like how Hawaii was created, kind of like with the
Interesting.
tribes. Pretty cool. But yeah, we'll
Awesome.
talk about it.
All right. Take care. See you Friday.